Hi, this is Lisa Atkins, and this is 5 Minutes with Lyssa. A leader just asked me this question. What does conflict mean to you? Well, in a nutshell, conflict means to me that things are going really, really well. I know that sounds strange. I know it does. But I get much more worried when there's not any conflict whatsoever, or even worse, when I'm working with a group and I can feel the conflict, the tension, the unprocessed stuff that's just below the surface. And everyone's super nice to each other, but I can feel it there. And I bet you can too. So think of conflict this way, that conflict is merely a signal that something is wanting to change. And usually that the group or the system you're working with, they're wanting to become more complex, to handle more complex situations. And isn't that great? Because near as I can tell, the trajectory of complexity is just going to keep going in the direction of more and more complex all the time. So one of the ways you can think about conflict is that it's normal, it's natural. And when we have the notion of navigating conflict rather than having to resolve it or mediate it or decide about it, then what we can do is help teams and groups develop skills for doing it themselves, for navigating their own conflict. Now, I'm not saying this is easy because most of us didn't learn how to do this in school or in our primary intimate relationships or like anywhere in our lives. But since we're now in the world where collaboration is a key to most organizations thriving, it becomes important for us to learn how to navigate conflict together. So there's an entire chapter in the Coaching Agile Teams book about this called Navigating Conflict. And there is a whole body of knowledge about how to work constructively with conflict from the Organization and Relationship Systems Coaching School that you can find out more information at crrglobal.com. So for now, let me leave you with this, that we want the conflict on the other, wait, hang on. We don't want the conflict on the other side of harmony. We want it the other way around. We want the harmony on the other side of conflict. We want the harmony on the other side of conflict, not the harmony that pretends everything is okay. So if this is just a little bit scary to you because your role so far has been to jump in and solve it for people, don't be afraid. You're in exactly the right position. I mean, we're all learning this right now. So the first piece of advice I would have for you is to start viewing conflict as natural and normal. And instead of thinking, I have to resolve or I have to get this group to resolve this conflict, start thinking, how could we use this conflict as a way to increase the whole group's conflict competence? And then start reading some of those resources I recommended for specific how-tos. All right, so that's a beginning with how I view conflict.